Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom. And in this video, we're going to be looking at a very interesting book. And of all the Sleeping Beauty books I have read, this is probably the most interesting. So this is not for small children. This is part of a series called Twisted Tales. This is Sleeping Beauty Vampire Slayer by Maureen McGowan. So this is one of their choose your adventure tales to an extent. So in this one, the basic story is, and it's very, very different from any other Sleeping Beauty story. So this king and queen get married. They have a child, but they refuse. The queen did not want to invite the vampire queen, who apparently there was a treaty between the two countries. So vampires in whatever country these guys are in. And apparently the vampire king had just died. So per the regular story, they have their baby. The king and queen actually are decently aged. I think they're, I don't know how far apart they are. But nonetheless, she shows up. She is pissed off. And this is the curse she places upon her. When she is 16, I think she pricks her finger on something sharp. I cannot remember what it is. Again, there was other fairies there, so they'd already did a couple blessings. But essentially, what happens is when she pricks her finger around the age of, I believe, 16, she will sleep all day and awake only at night. And her family and everybody in her kingdom will be awake all day and sleep at night until she finds true love. Though I think that might have been the fairies doing that. So I can't exactly remember. So we fast forward to her a bit older. Her parents hate each other. Absolutely. Her father used the fairies, instead of allowing them to help her later, made them make this weird glass chamber that she doesn't know about with unbreakable glass. So, it's around like her 13th birthday. Her father tries to start getting her to fall in love, and her mother wants her to go to vampire school to kill vampires, vampire slayer school. And so you get to choose different adventures on what she wants. In different things, she goes to vampire school. She learns how to kill vampires. She meets up with this other guy who becomes her friend. Where she agrees with her father, and he locks her in a glass cage, essentially. Fast forward, she's now 16. Eventually, the inevitable does in fact happen. Her mother actually leaves her father, and they go stay with her grandfather. Mind you, that's the other thing, is she decides to stay with her father, and he locks her up in a cage. So eventually the inevitable happens, and she's awake only at night. Thankfully, she does in fact know how to kill things. So eventually, and now periodically, she also meets the vampire prince in here. So eventually they're in the castle. She's periodically locked in this, what amounts to be glass coffin. So we're throwing in some Snow White stuff going on here. And both the prince of the vampires and this guy who she met previously as a vampire, who turns out to be a prince of somewhere else. Yeah. She eventually falls in love with him. At first, she's kind of, you're like, is she falling in love with the other prince? Turns out he's her cousin. We get some interesting little backstory there. She does interact with the vampire queen, who's her aunt, her mother's older sister, who wanted to be queen and was courting the prince, but her sister ended up doing it instead. And so she decided to go become a vampire so she could torture and kill her sister and the man she thought she loved, but she really just wants power. Eventually they kill her and put her son on the throne, and they resume peace. And I believe the girl eventually marries this other prince, and she goes with him. And of course, he's not destined to fall asleep during the day because he's not part of that kingdom. So that's how he gets away from that. So it's actually very interesting. It's very dark. I mean, this is definitely, I'm going to say middle school, high school level um, stuff. And honestly, I find it really interesting because it's a completely different twist on the tale. It's like she's not asleep constantly. She's just asleep during the day, and then she has to fight off vampires at night. And you're killing vampires, and it's very, very interesting. So that is this tale. I'm trying to think, how long is it? There's 9 sections total. So, how many is it going to show me? How many pages is it's not hugely long. So it's showing me the 8 possible routes. There you can go section 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, and 9. Everything ends at 9. You can do 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 9. 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 9. 1, 3, 4, 6, 8, and 9, and goes on. So there's apparently 8 possible ways. So the story looks like it's about 479 pages. So, but again, that depends on you going through different things. So it's probably shorter than that depending on which routes you take. But it is one of those books where you can read multiple times and you basically get a different story. So in this case, I think what's it saying? Essentially, there are 8 different stories within this book. So I do enjoy these. I mean, I definitely recommend it. It's definitely for, again, there's a love story in here. So I'm going to say middle school and up. You might do late elementary, but middle school and up would be more my recommendation for this book. But I do highly recommend it as an adult. I did, in fact, enjoy it. So adults can read this as well. But that is it for this review. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe. I'll be finishing off Sleeping Beauty this month. I will be doing the ballet as well as Maleficent. This month, I think I have at least 1 or 2 more books. I'm not sure. I have to check at my time. I'm filming this on the 16th. So, and you guys will be seeing this on Monday. So, like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thank you.